the man responsible for the deaths of hundreds of Americans.
We took action last night to stop a war. We did not take action to start a war.
The president claiming he was plotting an imminent attack. Iran now vowing revenge. The U.S. sending thousands of additional troops to the region. Americans told to leave Iraq immediately. Martha Raddatz standing by. President Trump's actions coming at the same time he's facing his Senate impeachment trial. Many Democrats criticizing the president, asking if the administration has a game plan, and warning of a potential all-out war with Iran. The growing security threat at home and around the world. New York deploying heavily armed police units, warning the city could be a prime target for an attack. American troops on alert to protect the U.S. Embassy in Beirut. Ian Pannell there on the ground. Tonight's other major headlines, the bank standoff as we come on the air. Authorities say a gunman holding at least one hostage inside. Heavily armed officers on scene. The deadly stabbing spree in an American city. One person killed and several victims rushed to the hospital. The powerful line of storms stretching 1,500 miles from the Gulf Coast to New England. Rob Marciano with the track.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Whit Johnson in for David tonight. As we come on, President Trump has now addressed the nation about that major escalation in the conflict with Iran. The U.S. drone strike targeting an Iranian military chief minutes after he landed at the airport in Baghdad. General Qasem Soleimani, the architect of Iranian intelligence and military operations across the region for decades, a revered figure in Iran, today thousands mourning and protesting in Tehran. Iran's supreme leader vowing harsh retaliation and revenge for the death of the man he called a martyr. But President Trump blamed Soleimani for the killing of hundreds of Americans and claimed he was actively plotting to kill more when he was found and terminated. The president saying he did not order the strike to start a war with Iran, but to stop one. And yet tonight, some 3,500 more troops are being sent to the region and others put on alert. ABC's chief global affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz leading us off with the timeline and the swift reaction.
President Trump tonight calling Iranian General Qasem Soleimani the #1 terrorist anywhere in the world, saying he ordered his death to save American lives.
Soleimani was plotting imminent and sinister attacks on American diplomats and military personnel, but we caught him in the act and terminated him.
Soleimani's end was swift and shocking. Landing at Baghdad International Airport, he climbed into a convoy of SUVs, unaware that American drones were tracking him overhead. Minutes later, as the vehicles were exiting the airport, a fiery blast, missiles from the drone striking their target, shredding the vehicles and leaving Soleimani and several others dead. The image of his bloody hand with a ring quickly circulating, the ring he always wore. The general commanded the all-powerful Quds Force of Iran's Revolutionary Guard, long ago labeled a terrorist organization by the U.S., with Soleimani blamed for the deaths of hundreds of U.S. troops in Iraq and beyond.
We took action last night to stop a war. We did not take action to start a war.
Still, targeting Soleimani is seen as a massive escalation in the president's confrontation with Iran. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff told reporters today there was clear, unambiguous intelligence indicating a significant campaign of violence against the United States in the days, weeks, and months ahead. A senior State Department official said Soleimani was plotting imminent attacks in Iraq, Lebanon, and Syria. But today in Iran, where Soleimani was one of the most influential figures revered by many, there was outrage. Thousands taking to the streets, chanting "Down with America" and "Revenge, revenge." Tonight, 3,500 additional U.S. forces are headed to the region. That means close to 5,000 have been dispatched in the last week alone, after Iranian-backed militias attacked the U.S. embassy and earlier killed a U.S. contractor in Iraq. Iran's next move is not known, but retaliation is almost certain.
Martha Raddatz with us live from Washington tonight, and some strong words from Iran's supreme leader.
That's right, Whit. The Ayatollah saying a harsh vengeance will be awaiting the criminals who tainted their hands with the pure blood of General Soleimani, with Iranian officials warning the revenge will come at the right time and place. And while President Trump is insisting he is not seeking war or regime change, he is warning the Iranian regime tonight that their aggression must end, and it must end now. Whit?
All right, Martha, thank you. And reaction to that deadly airstrike reflecting the partisan divide, but there are questions across the political spectrum about the strategy and about what comes next. ABC's Mary Bruce on Capitol Hill.
On Capitol Hill today, high praise and sharp criticism for the president's surprise strike. The top Democrat on the Senate Intelligence Committee says he found out through press reports.
There was a threat. I think the threat was real. What I don't have confidence in, had the administration fully thought through all the implications of this action.
And do you think that the U.S., that this administration is prepared for any potential retaliation?
I would love to be able to answer that question with an affirmative. I don't know.
Other Democrats are questioning the timing of the strike, which comes as the president faces a looming impeachment trial.
Obviously, with this president, you have to worry about ulterior motives.
But Republicans insist Trump is sending a powerful message to America's enemies.
For too long, this evil man operated without constraint, and countless innocents have suffered for it.
If you come after Americans on President Trump's watch, you do so at your peril.
Trump has long promised to get the U.S. out of conflicts in the Middle East.
The plan is to get out of endless wars, to bring our soldiers back home.
Today, his opponents used the president's words against him.
This must not be the beginning of another endless war.
This is a dangerous escalation that brings us closer to another disastrous war in the Middle East.
Joe Biden warning Trump could be putting Americans at risk.
And the prospects of direct conflict with Iran is greater than it has ever been.
Strong reaction on both sides, and Mary Bruce is joining us from Capitol Hill. Mary, most members of Congress were not given a heads up about the president's action against Iran, and tonight lawmakers from both parties are demanding more information.
Whit, both sides are eager to know what comes next. What's the broader strategy here? And what's the plan for if and when Iran retaliates? We do expect the full Senate will receive a classified briefing next week, and Speaker Pelosi is demanding the same over in the House. Whit?
Okay, Mary, our thanks to you. Iran's threat of revenge is raising security concerns here at home and around the world. Cities from coast to coast, including here in New York City, are upping their vigilance tonight as thousands of U.S. forces arrive in the Middle East, including these troops landing in Kuwait just hours before that drone strike in Baghdad. ABC's senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell reports from Beirut tonight.
Tonight, U.S. citizens in Baghdad warned by American officials to leave the country. Concerns growing of retaliation for last night's drone attack. There are nearly 80,000 American troops in the region, all of them high-profile targets for potential revenge attacks. Today, Iranians burning American and Israeli flags. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu returning from Greece early, putting his nation on high alert. Tensions have been building after a series of Iranian provocations over the summer, including the downing of an American drone. David asking President Rouhani if the two nations are at breaking point.
Are we closer to a major conflict?
I do believe that we are approaching a worst point.
Fears of retaliation rippling overseas to the United States. In New York City, there's an increase in police presence, some heavily armed.
What you will see is that heightened vigilance in terms of uniformed officers, many with long guns, at sensitive areas, critical structures.
They're also on heightened alert in other major cities, but authorities are quick to emphasize that there's no specific credible threat.
Ian Pannell on the ground there in Beirut. And Ian, U.S. troops in the region are on alert for a potential threat.
Yeah, that's right. And also elements of the 173rd Airborne Brigade in Italy, we're told, are poised to deploy here to Beirut, potentially to protect the U.S. Embassy. Soleimani apparently planning attacks against U.S. interests here in Lebanon as well as elsewhere in the region. Whit?
Ian Panel, thank you. We move on now to the other major news this Friday night, that hostage situation at a bank in Rockford, Illinois. Police say it began as an attempted robbery, the suspect then holding one or more people at gunpoint. SWAT teams on the scene, the road shut down in all directions, the standoff going into the night. Here's ABC's Alex Perez.
Tonight, a tense hostage standoff unfolding inside this Illinois bank. SWAT teams swarming the scene. Police say a gunman stormed this credit union in Rockford this afternoon, taking, authorities say, at least one hostage, possibly more.
He's an armed subject, and people are not able to leave, so whether he's holding them, but he's not allowing them to leave.
Authorities say it started as an armed robbery before the suspect barricaded himself inside the bank. Officers armed with long guns taking positions outside. Crisis negotiation team attempting to make contact with the suspect. Police shutting down the roads in all directions, clearing out the scene, urging people to avoid the area.
And tonight, the FBI has joined local investigators on this case there in Rockford. Whit?
Alex Perez with that developing situation there. We appreciate it. Thank you. In Austin, Texas, a chaotic scene ending in a fatal stabbing. Police say one person was injured during an assault at a coffee shop. Customers pinned down the attacker, but he escaped and ran to a nearby restaurant, stabbing two people there. One of them has died. The attacker then climbed the roof, but jumped off and was taken into custody. His motive still under investigation. Now to the catastrophic wildfires in Australia. Tens of thousands of residents and tourists forced to evacuate as conditions grow worse. Newly released video from a firefighter's camera showing the fast-moving flames threatening a home in northeast Victoria. Those fires already the worst in the country's history, fueled by temperatures jumping well into the triple digits. ABC's Maggie Rulli in the fire zone.
Tonight in Australia's fire zone, with the worst yet to come, a race against time to put out hotspots.
With these winds starting to pick up, you can see just how dangerous these hotspots are, how quickly they can spread. We've been here for minutes and already it is rapidly spreading down the hill.
In Victoria State alone, 140,000 residents and tens of thousands of tourists told to get out.
Oh no!
If they choose to stay,
the hose is burnt.
They're on their own.
If a westerly wind comes back, it's going to come this way tomorrow. That's what we're fearing.
Paula says she and her husband saved their home once already this week and will stay and fight again.
We're staying, yeah, and just do what we can do because tomorrow's D-Day.
With some neighborhoods completely wiped out and conditions set to get even worse this weekend, officials are reminding those who stay behind to stay focused and to take this seriously. Whit?
All right, Maggie, thanks. Now to that ABC News exclusive, the three women who survived nearly a decade in captivity in a Cleveland house of horrors, Gina DeJesus, Amanda Berry, and Michelle Knight, opening up about their grim ordeal and how they focused their lives on helping others. ABC's Robin Roberts with their incredible stories.
The first thing that I did is I dropped to the floor, begging him to let me go.
Their terrifying captivity would last more than 9 years.
He taped my wrist and he taped my ankles. Then he put a helmet over my head.
Now, Michelle Knight, Amanda Berry, and Gina DeJesus are sharing their stories of hope, bravery, and resilience.
How were you able to withstand that kind of abuse?
It was difficult. I had to go blank. Anytime he was doing anything to me, I had to put myself in a different place.
Their kidnapper and abuser, Ariel Castro, locking and chaining the women inside his Cleveland home.
There were so many just tiny rules that we had to live by. We got a little sliver of soap about that thick just to wash our bodies with. We had to put the pan in the center on the stove. It couldn't be a little to the left, a little to the right.
Then, after nearly 4,000 days, the miraculous escape. A neighbor hearing Amanda's cries for help helps kick open part of a screen door so she could scramble out to call 911.
Help me, I'm Amanda Berry. I've been kidnapped and I've been missing for 10 years and I'm here, I'm free now.
Slowly but surely, each one of the women building a new life for herself.
Our foundation's name is the Cleveland